Hey, Alexandra Figueredo here, visibility and branding strategist. And it is 2023. It is time. It is time to stand out and be unapologetically seen and heard. So I don't know if you were like me, where I feel like I left some baggage behind in 2022. And now in 2023, I feel more empowered and ready to get out in the world. Let me know if you feel like that as well. So if you don't know me, I'm a visibility and branding strategist. I work with entrepreneurs to help them stand out and attract their desired audience. And I thought, since it's the beginning of the year, we could start with creating a plan for ourselves for 2023. So what I'm going to do is just ask a series of questions and you can follow along. I like to do this actually like sorry, my eyebrows are a little off here. I like to do that every quarter. So definitely for the beginning of the year, it's great to look back over the last year and then move forward with our vision. Okay. So let's start first with just assessing like some foundational things, right? So think about your why, your passion. I actually went through this with my inner circle and we did this, and I did this myself. Otherwise, I would be following along and answering the questions with you. But what is your purpose? What is your why? And take a moment to think about that. If you're listening to this as a recording, you can pause it and then go back to it, answer the questions and pause. But what is your purpose? What is your why, your passion? I'm going to just pause in between these questions so that you can answer them. And is your brand connected to your passion, your purpose? Why? On a scale from 0 to 10, sorry, that's my dog in the background if you hear it. On a scale from 0 to 10, how connected is your brand to your purpose and your why? So when I did this with my inner circle yesterday, there are some who were really super aligned, like 7, 8, 9 or above. And then there were some that weren't. And so assess how much, where you're at on that scale. And if you feel like you maybe need to have more, be more connected to your purpose with your brand. What can you do to feel or maybe be more connected to your purpose and your why? All right. So, and please feel free to type in the comments as well. I'd love to hear where you're at with all of these. Okay. So the next question is, what visibility strategies did you try in 2022? So think about social media, think about email, think about maybe you were actually in front of media. How about networking events? So what podcasts, what strategies did you try? And it could be anything. Write down your list of things that you tried in 2022. I'm going to go ahead and pause. So when I did this yesterday, I had a list of about 10 things. Some people had 4 or 5 things. Some people had more than 10. So just write down your list. And now what I want you to do is rank yourself or rank each of those items on a scale from first, number 1 being the strategy that worked the best. And this could be, this could be what is most important to you. So that could be in terms of leads. Maybe you got clients from it. Maybe you got a lot of exposure from it. So for each of the things that you listed, rank it from 1 to the end. So the first, number 1 would be the strategy that worked the best. Number 2 would be the strategy that worked the second best, and so on. All right, I'm going to pause now for a moment. So keep in mind that this list, as you rank them, this could be whatever you feel, right? So I don't want to insert my judgment on what works best for you. Like maybe there was something that didn't necessarily lead to clients or leads, but maybe you got, maybe you had a viral video that got a lot of momentum or a lot of followers in your business. And you're like, okay, that's awesome, So rank it according to what you feel work the best, okay? Now, look at that list and assess. So obviously the first, the second, the third, probably like the top 3 things are strategies that actually you feel worked, right? That you got some return. Doesn't have to necessarily mean that you got a client from it or money from it, but there was some return that you got from those top 3 strategies. Now look at the other ones. And is there anything that any of those strategies that you either don't enjoy or, if you don't enjoy it and it was like low on the list, then definitely I would suggest that you put a pause on those. So maybe put a line through any of the strategies that you don't enjoy, or maybe it was like a lot of work or very low return and it's low on the list. So put a pause on that. So as an example, I did a campaign, an ad campaign, and I did get some benefits from it, but because I put a lot of money into the ads themselves, the return was I thought was low for what I spent on the ads. And so it wasn't my lowest, but it wasn't one of the highest, right? I definitely got some benefit from it, but I'm going to put a pause on that for now while I try my first 3 strategies or put more time and effort into the first 3 strategies that got me more results. So put a line through the items that didn't work or that you're not going to try because maybe it was too much or too hard, or, you're going to pause those for now. And then look at any of the items that maybe were lower on the list, but there might be a tweak that you can do. So for example, one of the people in the inner circle yesterday mentioned that there was, she gets benefits from Instagram and Facebook, but she wasn't consistent in it. And so now she's like, okay, so maybe it was lower on the list, but she knows that if she could just be consistent in creating content on those platforms, that she'll get more results from it. So make a note of, maybe circle any of those items that maybe you can tweak a little bit. All right. So the next question is there a stretch goal that you have as far as visibility? So for example, for me, I want to be a TV appearance. I hadn't done any TV appearances since before the pandemic. So that's a stretch goal for me as far as visibility. Maybe for you, it's getting on some podcasts. Maybe it's starting an email. Like if you don't have an email campaign at all, maybe it's starting an email, right? Whatever it is for you, what's a stretch goal? Or it could be much higher than that. What's a stretch? Maybe it's wanting to interview a certain person, right? So what's a stretch goal for you? Okay, now I want you to look at all of the items that you've written down. And then also just think about this. I had asked this earlier and I probably should have. For your audience, whoever your audience is, which of those items that you've listed or other platforms or other strategies would reach your audience? And as an example, I started a new channel for empowering true crime, it's called. And that audience, I originally started it on YouTube, but I tested it on on TikTok. And I started it in November. I already have over 1,000 followers. And so I know that audience, TikTok is a good audience or a good platform for that audience. So I've started posting content on TikTok. So what is a platform or a strategy that you feel would be catered to your audience? Okay, so now let's look at all your answers. And I want you to choose, if you had 5 or 6 strategies listed, then I want you to choose your top 3, maybe 4. If you had more than 6 strategies listed, then I want you to focus on your top 5. And the reason I say this is because I don't want you to be overwhelmed. In fact, this is the opposite of that. What we're doing is we're focusing more on the strategies that are going to work or that you want to test, right? Like maybe your stretch goal is a strategy that you really want to try and test. And that could be one of your 5 strategies. So write down the top 3 to 5 strategies that you're going to focus on for the next 3 to 6 months. And keep in mind that includes a stretch goal. And it should include at least one strategy that is very focused on your audience, which could be something you're already doing, if there might be overlap there, or it could be that stretch goal. And I'd love to hear in the comments, what were your strategies that you chose? So was this difficult for you? Did you enjoy this process? Was it hard? You know, one of the things that somebody in the inner circle mentioned is that it was a way to lessen the overwhelm, because I'm not telling you to do, you have 10, 15 items. I'm not telling you to do all of those things. Absolutely not. I want you to focus on the few strategies that are actually going to work for your audience and for your brand. So let me know in the comments what your strategies are. I'm happy to give you some feedback. Or of course, you could just, let me know what you felt of this process. I would love to hear. And if you do need additional support for building your brand and creating a visibility strategy for 2023, I'm opening up for a few clients. I'm going to help you create a visibility strategy customized for you. And I'm offering now a New Year's special. I'm going to type in the description. I'm going to include the application. Sorry, not the registration. The application because I'm not going to be taking everyone. So it's just going to be if it's time to be seen, be heard, stand out in your industry, attract your desired audience, and you know that your time is now, absolutely apply to the link I'm going to put in the description. I'll make that application and I'll review it. And if I feel it's a good fit, we'll set up a time to talk. And hopefully by the end of the month, you'll have a strategy, if not sooner, so for you to stand out in industry and create visibility strategies that are going to work for you, your brand, and your audience. All right, everyone, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, then I would appreciate if you liked. And of course, if you want more visibility and branding strategies to help you build your business and your brand, then consider subscribing to my channel. All right, everyone, have a blessed rest of your day. And remember, it is your time to be unapologetically seen and heard. All right, everyone, bye for now.